If you just arrived, welcome. We're going to start in another minute. Just giving you time to just connect to your environment, different sounds around you. Just checking how you feel. How you feel in your space. You're an animal, and as such, you're assessing whether you feel safe or not. And then tuning into our vibration. You most likely know either Danielle or me or both of us. Tune into the vibration of everyone in the group. How do you feel in this group? How do you feel today? Finally, tuning into your body. What does the body tell you today? What's going on? Still aligning your breath, the rhythm of the music, in your space. Just land in the here and now. Our invitation is for you to give us your full attention. And with that, we hope to provide you with some heartfelt information. I'm going to take 3 breaths to open everyone. Inhale and out. One more time, inhale and out. And one last time, with your arms, pull in. And let it go. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Alex.
My name is Daniel Coates. I'm Tara.
And we're both very excited for this call today. So this is giving you just an idea of what's coming. We're going to be together for about an hour. Daniel, can I let you get people in while I do that?
Sure, brother.
So the intention of this call is for you to experience a new paradigm. You know, usually when you have people in the same field, they try to do each their own thing, but we don't believe in that. We are both facilitating breathwork. We are both training facilitators. And I know, because I work with Danielle, that we are aligned in terms of values. All we care about is that people start working with the breath. I genuinely would be very happy if any of you decide that you feel aligned with Danielle today, and that's the person you want to work with. And I, in my heart, I know that is the same for Danielle. We do care about the work. We do care about the transformation that comes from it. So our intention today is to come together to share about what we do separately. So you'll get to hear Danielle share about his training, what it's all about. Then I'll do the same. So, if you're interested in becoming a facilitator, you get to hear about 2 different approaches. That's for the first part. You're going to be busy because you'll be asking questions. So I invite you to write down your questions in the chat. Can be in the Facebook Live right now on both our channels. Could be here in the Zoom. And in the second part, we'll filter and take some of your questions. But guess what? Little surprise. This is only part 1. So our intention is to also get you to experience wonderful practices. So we're going to do a part 2, which I believe is, did we say Tuesday? I think Tuesday. So we'll share that in the comments, but Tuesday we'll be back again for another session. So whatever you're going to experience, we're going to go deeper, because at the end of the day, and then I'll get Daniel to take over and I'll zip. When it comes to choosing a facilitator, I do believe that it's very important that you find an alignment with the person you're going to learn from. And the best way for you to know that is to spend time with us. Spend time with me, spend time with Danielle, feel us, feel what we're about, and check in with the body. How does that feel? So that's it for me. Thank you so much. And now, Danielle, please tell us all about your incredible practice and your wonderful training coming up.
Thank you, Alex. Yeah, I just want to start by sharing briefly about my journey because, you know, the reason I'm a breathwork facilitator and have been for 19 years is because of what it did to me. So I started, back in 2003, I had some sessions of holotropic breathwork, the open mouth, cathartic, more sort of intense style, and it was extremely powerful, but I screamed so much. I screamed with my toenails, you know, that's how much screaming there was. And I always felt really good afterwards, after those sessions, but as time went on, I felt like, for me, I'm not knocking that style, but for me, it was too much. It was too much too soon. I'd opened this big can of worms, so much emotion had come out, so much energy had come out, and I didn't know what to do with it all. I was 27 years old, and the practitioner that I was doing the sessions with, he wasn't that strong on the whole support piece and the aftercare. So I found myself left kind of high and dry. So to cut a long story short, amazing story. 2 years after I did those 4 sessions in Sydney, I went on a trip around the world. I wanted to go to places that were curing cancer in Mexico, and I ended up at the Hoxie Clinic in northern Mexico, and I got introduced to a gentleman at that clinic who was there for skin cancer at the time. And it turned out that it was Leonard Orr, the founder of Rebirthing Breathwork. So Rebirthing Breathwork being the other style, there's two main pathways for breathwork. One is the holotropic pathway and the other one is the rebirthing pathway. And I had just met the founder of Rebirthing, so it was really amazing for me because I almost went and studied the other style with this guy in Sydney. And then 2 years later, I just ended up meeting the founder of the other style. So that was quite amazing. And I ended up going to California and studying with Leonard and learning how to be a rebirther. And rebirthing is a gentler style using the nose. And I just found that pathway, the gentle style with the nose, I found that everything that happened was still very powerful, but it was much more integratable for me. I could integrate the sessions within a week. And he also taught us in the context of the other elements. So sitting with a fire, fasting, bathing in hot and cold water, meditation, being out in nature, and things like kirtan and sound. So I'm very grateful that I got to learn from Leonard because I got to learn it in a true holistic way, and I got to learn the gentle path. So for me, what I'm offering, I teach rebirthing. I teach rebirthing in the context of the 5 elements. I tend to teach my sessions live in places where the elements are very present, like in Bali at a hot springs resort here called Mimpi Menjangan, and also teaching in Australia on the Sunshine Coast on a beautiful property with waterhole and waterfalls and different elemental energies there as well. So that's very important to me. But you know, some of my favorite sayings with breathwork are that you don't heal trauma with trauma, and that a spirit of gentleness should be through everything, because, you know, gentleness works. When people feel safe, they let go. When they don't feel safe, they don't let go. And it's so important for people to feel safe. It's the most important thing. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's a bit about me. I'm very passionate about this work. Just briefly, after that training with Leonard in California, I changed my whole life. I went from being an IT guy to being a musician. I've been a musician ever since. I live from it now. I went from being terrible in relationships to marrying the woman of my dreams a year later, and we've been together for 15 years. It's truly changed my life, and I love to see what it does for other people and the trajectory that they end up on after they do a training.
Danielle, I'll be the interviewer. So first of all, everyone, yeah, I've been in sessions, I've witnessed the work of Danielle, so I can only encourage you to go that path of rebirthing if it's your calling. Do you mind telling us a little bit more in detail what's going on in the training, like in a practical way? It could be useful.
Yeah, so my rebirthing training, it's an initial 6 days face-to-face, and during those 6 days we do, day one is a group session, small group session with sound healing included. I find that sound and breath, they work very powerfully together. Day two is a rebirthing day, so I get people into triples, and there's 2 people holding space for one, and then we switch, 2 people holding space for one, 2 people holding space for one, and I'm going around helping people to guide and helping to hold space, and sometimes using a bit of sound as well. Day 3, we usually do voice liberation. It's amazing Liberate Your Voice workshop to help people get their voices out, which is so helpful for everyone in terms of their confidence for facilitating sessions, but also for their confidence in speaking up or even singing if they want to sing, that sort of thing. Day 4 is another rebirthing day, so we do rebirthing in triples. I've only just added a day, so it used to be 5 days, so I'm still working out what the 5th day is, but probably to do with the other elements, fire and water. And I also teach body work with breath work, how we can use body work to assist the process, and also how we can use sound to assist the process as well. And I teach the elements like sitting with a fire. Everyone's doing ice baths, and ice baths are amazing, but sitting with a fire is just as powerful, but it's just not as Instagrammable, I guess. These subtle things are very powerful. We don't always have to be shocking the body to make a change, you know what I mean? So that's what my training is about. It's a rebirthing breathwork and 5 elements training is what I run.
Thank you, Danielle. So guys, if you have questions for Danielle, we'll take them after. Just write them down in the chat, and we'll happily answer. So just close your eyes for a second. Connect to your breath. And just check in how you feel, how you receive Danielle's share. Everyone inhale. And out. All right, so I'll give it a go. So my name is Alex. I'm the local ice guy here in Bali. So I will share with you a little bit about my philosophy, my approach, and what the training is all about. So it's online or in person. It's going to be in Bali for those who want to come, 5th of September for 3 weeks, 21 days. It's my approach is the following. I believe that if you manage to go to your true self and facilitate from that place, that whatever style you're going to choose, it's going to work because it's going to come from your heart. So my approach is very much it's a transformational journey as well as a facilitator training. So it's not an easy training because we do 2 things at the same time. But I think that if you are managing to go to the roots, get away from the conditioning, the stories you've been telling yourself, get out of the roles that you believe you have, from that place of authenticity, of vulnerability, and from there, your heart will shine and everyone will want to be with you, almost no matter what you're going to facilitate. I have a very generic approach to the breath, unlike Danielle, who's very specific about rebirthing. I want you to find your breath. So I have a very free from styles approach where I get you to be exposed to all the breath has to offer. Functional breathing, Buteiko, Oxygen Advantage, How can you breathe for everyday life? Improve your CO2 tolerance. Rebirthing, Daniel is one of the facilitators. I bring 17 facilitators, all people that are incredibly amazing at what they do. And we do things that might seem not in line, like we do a lot of movement and other embodied practices. Again, the idea with that is I want you to craft something that is you, very unlike someone else, because you cannot be Wim Hof, you cannot be Daniel, you cannot be Alex. This spot is already taken. It's the three modalities that we learn is breathwork, ice baths, and I will speak about the last one, which is authentic relating. I believe that breathwork and ice baths are almost the prep work. And then once you have that connection to yourself, then you can connect with others. So it things around circling or getting someone's world. And in these containers of truth and vulnerability, we witness a lot of powerful transformations. So it is a training for anyone who wants to facilitate transformation. And at the same time, I find it's a wonderful way to be reconnecting with self. So that's what it is. It's you get a mentor during the whole training. We connect after the training once a week, so it continues after the training. I have some of the participants and graduates are in this group chat today on the Zoom, and we meet once a week and we support one another and we keep going. I think what really brings us together with Danielle is that we truly care about this work and we continuously want to bring support to people who are working with the breath. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell. We dance, we have fun, and we go deep. So that's what it is. I don't know, Daniel, did you have questions for me?
More, I just wanted to add that, I've presented at your trainings a few times, and it's hard to I found that it's hard to find someone who's aligned with that gentleness and that, holding a safe space in this industry. And so I won't work with everyone. I love working with you, man, because of the space you hold. I think, anyone who is considering doing more of a generalist training than I, Alex is an absolute professional. His ego is completely out of it, in my opinion. He doesn't feel like he has to push people to feel good about what he's doing, like some people do. And I'm very impressed, and it's hard to impress me with this industry. In fact, a lot of the time I end up disappointed because there's a lot of really aggressive stuff out there, and it's not necessarily helping people that much. It can be re-traumatizing them. So it's just very refreshing, brother, to see how you're running your sessions and running your trainings.
Oh, that went straight to my heart. Thank you. I've got tears in my eyes because I respect you so much, and I think you summarized it. If people are wondering which direction to take, I think that's it. If you're called to the rebirthing, Daniel is the person you want to train with, and something more generic. That's it. After that, we are fully aligned. I believe that all we need is space. We have the answers. We just need space to go within, and the breath is just such a magical tool. You shared about your story. You mentioned the ego. The reason I do this is I'm normal Joe. I have no superpower. I cannot hold my breath for a long time. I cannot stay in the ice for a long time. I'm just a normal guy with all those normal problems. But what the breath had brought me, and what life I live now thanks to the breath, if I can do it, absolutely everyone can access it. That's kind of this, and that's really is the message. So if you feel that you have a resonance with the breath and that's something you want to explore, it's what is amazing about it is it's easy. All you need to do is to be in integrity, to allow yourself to be vulnerable, and after that, people will feel safe with you, because safety comes from connection. And once they feel connected with you and they feel safe, they will go deep, no matter how you go from there. And I think it's the best job in the world. It's the best job there's nothing more gratifying than having, we have Rio in the group. I was sharing before that, Rio is working with refugees in England. And I want to put out there that anyone who's a social worker can join my training for free, 100%. I'll pay for the food. As long as you work with refugees, but also prisoners or anyone that need this work. I think this is wonderful. And the how it is so gratifying to, after that, have such an impact in the world that you can have by facilitating the breath. You can't beat that. I'm sure Daniel will feel aligned with that. It's just a high that I was a businessman, I was making a lot of money, I had power and all this stuff. Nothing can compare to the buzz, the feeling of helping people reconnect with their true self, and coming up with realization and that unheard of. It's amazing.
It's people don't realize the power of it. Something I like to say is that rebirth in breathwork, or breathwork in general, is one of the only ways that you can change an adult. And it was the only way that I was going to change at the age of 30, from being an IT guy, becoming a musician, becoming a sound healer, and also doing this work. Like, how else are you going to shift? It's such a powerful way to shift energy. It's such a powerful way to change. And it's very popular at the moment, which is great to see, because it just shows that there's a lot of people out there that want profound change in their lives. And if there was something more powerful for creating change in adults, then I want to know about it. I've been searching for a long time, my adult life, for the most powerful things, and breathwork is the most powerful thing, in my opinion.
Yeah. I come from a sustainability background. I used to consult in sustainability and work with a lot of organizations in that field. So all my life, I've been lecturing people on what to do. And I know what to do. And I can tell you why you're wrong and why I'm right. And all my life, I've been telling people what's wrong with them and how, by listening to me, they will be right. Has it worked? Has it had an impact? No. And I think that's the problem with sustainability around the world. It's always the way we go about it. What I found with the breath, and the impact that I am having with the breath, is just creating space for people to be with themselves. End of the coaching. And that's all we need. No one needs to tell you anything else. From that space of being centered, of course, you're going to be a better partner, caretaker of Mother Earth, parent, but you don't need to be educated on any of it. We have it all. We have it all but it's buried deep down, covered by ego, by trauma, by, muscular tensions. And we need to kind of unlearn all this to go back to our beautiful true self. And from that place, life is easy, life is light. And, this, as you mentioned, more and more people are drawn to this because we've been lied, we've been manipulated, we've been told things are just not true, and things are collapsing now. We realize that we cannot trust religion, we cannot trust governments, we cannot trust science. So hang on there, where do I go? Where do I go for truth? And I think it's a good thing, because of course it's within, and there's not someone who should be at the top of the pyramid who will come up with the answers. And that model is gone. And we know that by being confronted to lies and manipulation and all that has been going around. So this is the time for this, and coming from a place of just holding space. You do you, I do me. You don't have to agree with me. I'm just going to be myself, and you have the space to be yourself. And that's hard for a society to organize, structure, and all these things. But hey, we're not here for that.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe is it time for some questions?
Yeah, I'm monitoring. I'm kind of rumbling, waiting for questions. You guys are welcome. If there is anything, ideally you want to just put it in the chat, whether it's on the Facebook lives or in the group chat on Zoom, and then we'll ask you to unmute with your camera on, ideally, and come and ask your question to either of us or both of us. You're welcome with anything, and you can absolutely ask anything. So I would really invite you, if something got triggered, or anything, you can just absolutely go. The first question is the hardest one.
Yeah, we need to break the seal.
Let's give a 10% discount to the first person asking the question.
Yeah, for
Can we
sure.
do that?
For sure, absolutely.
All right. You go. There you've got an incentive to ask a question. I think it's not coming, so we can continue, Danielle, sharing a bit more.
Oh yeah, there's
Doris. Go ahead, Doris. Danielle, answer Doris' question.
Okay, chat. Hang on a second.
Where is Danielle retreat held and when? Can we get specifics?
Yes, so I have actually have 3 trainings coming up. The first one's in Bali. It's the 26th of September till October 1st, 6 days face-to-face, but then there's a 6-month certification process where we meet once a month, and you got to do some sessions with people to get your qualification. It's not a massive amount of work, but it's enough to make sure you're proficient. So that's Bali, 26th to the 1st of October. Australia, Sunshine Coast, is November 21 to 26. Yeah, Sunshine Coast. They are the same training, basically. The one in Bali is at a hot springs resort, which is awesome. And the other one I'm doing is in January 20 to 27 in Colombia. So if anyone's feeling adventurous, wants to come to Santa Marta in Colombia, that's going to be in January. So there's my 3.
And what's going on online? Lauren is asking.
I don't do online trainings at this stage. The thing that I do offer online is sessions. I have something called Suntara TV, where I have a library of over 120 sessions. 20 of those sessions are rebirthing, breathwork, sound healings, like 2-hour fully guided video with professional audio and sound healing. And I also do live sessions every month, sometimes twice a month. I don't offer training online because I like to have people together in a place with the elements and connected to the earth. Heather Meyer, hey Heather. Anything in the UK for me, not at this stage. Yeah, I'll post the links for you, Doris, for sure. Should I do that now, Alex?
Yeah. You can put all the links in the chat.
Janet, one-to-one sessions you can do over Zoom, or I can try to connect you with someone that I trust in the UK, or maybe Alex could too. But if you're looking for rebirthing, I could connect you with someone in the UK. Much better to do it in person, but if you can't, then do it, over Zoom works pretty well. So I'm just putting my links here.
Yeah, a lot of things happening for you.
Yeah, yeah, quite a lot. But I just go on with it. It seems to be, a lot of interest. So it's, I'm just going with it.
Yes.
I mean, it's been 2 years since I've been able to do anything. So, and travel. So, yeah. There's a bit of a.
Feel free to ask any other other question, guys, and even on the breath, you know, if it's not related to what we do as well, you're very welcome.
I know some really good rebirthers in New York City, Doris. Why don't you get in touch with me? Yeah, on Facebook maybe.
Yeah, happy to connect you, Doris.
Yeah, Doris, if you can connect with me through Alex. I can. There's a really good rebirther in New York City, a woman called Virginia Arnold. I can link you up with her.
So don't hesitate to tell us where you guys are at. What are your doubts? What are you holding back? I want to say something on the financial side. I support anyone who wants to do this work, and if finance is a challenge, just come forward and we'll find a solution. I have people who've done my training 2 years ago who have not started to pay. So, and with me, you're welcome to speak to them. You know, it's all transparent. People who are in abundance, of course, there is a discount if you pay up front. And then people who struggle and they need payment plan or discount or any of that, you know, yes, for me and for them, it's also a way of making a living, but it's much more than that. And it's, I'm happy to support anyone who is feeling called to support. There's so much people dealing with depression. There's so many suicides going on in our communities that, you know, these kind of practices are essential, and there need to be another narrative. There needs to be another approach at the one that, you know, mainstream doctors, and there needs to be another way. We cannot go on. I mean, it's this, we're more than what they say we are. And once you touch that, you touch on your full potential, you touch on your superpower, and there is no going back. You're empowered, and you're not attached to anything and anyone anymore. You're just living in your truth. And that's a place I hope either with Daniel or me you can get to.
Yeah, same with me. It's always open for discussion. You know, if someone needs to have some sort of a plan or whatever, it's a lot of, you know, we don't want people just to walk off because they, in that red hot minute, they can't afford to pay the tuition. So everything's open for discussion always.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was just going to go back to some of these people, anything in Ireland, anything in the UK, that sort of thing. I have nothing planned in that part of the world, but I have a lot of people who've been asking me for that. So I think I have to have a discussion with my wife about that one. But in the meantime, Alex offers his trainings online as well as in person. So that might be a good avenue for you if you're keen to get started soon. Otherwise, you know, Bali is not too bad in terms of getting there from the UK. Obviously, it's not as close as Australia or something like that, but at least it's not too bad.
Yes, absolutely. You're very welcome. I also do some free circles every Tuesday, and have a lot of online content. So don't hesitate to reach out, find Breathing Call, and there's plenty happening where you can join. And I love to do these kind of conversations with different facilitators and creating, you know, just interesting content for people. The breath is so magical, and we're just touching the power of the breath. We're just at the beginning, because finally the science is catching up and is getting interested into it. But, you know, even the idea of, you know, when you inhale, what am I taking in? When I exhale, I let go. Those are, you know, easy concepts and we understand them. But maybe there is a breathing pattern where you force the exhale, you know, similar to Kapalabhati, where you force the exhale and you just allow everything to come in, you know, and can I allow everything to come in instead of controlling what's coming in? Can I be more receptive? So all of a sudden, you know, we can use some breathing patterns intentionally for, okay, it's time for me to let go. So if I want to do that, can I force it out? Can I focus on my exhale and allow the inhale to come passively? You know, just to put out there just one little thing that can put some seeds that, you know, there is so much to the breath and we can go in so many directions with it. it's, I would say that's the main reason you should embrace this career, is that you will be in love for the rest of your life. I can't wait for the next moment I have to read one of those books that I have. It's incredible. It's incredible. And so much content is out there that we can embrace. You know, I'm with Danielle. I work a lot on trauma. This is an area that I find is absolutely fascinating, because we go to the root cause. You know, addiction, there is no addiction. There is a normal reaction to an abnormal situation that happened. So I can help you stop drinking, and you're going to start eating. Yeah, because it has nothing to do with the symptom. You know, so when you go to the root cause of trauma, then you can liberate, and then you don't need whatever it is, whether it's work, social media. You know, a big one is Netflix. You know, Netflix is a big addiction, but people consider them absolutely okay, because, you know, alcohol and drugs is not okay, but shopping and Netflix is socially acceptable. You know, I think if we solve trauma, the world economy will collapse, because no one will go shopping ever again. You know, so yeah, that's those needs to be addressed for sure.
There's the question there from Heather Meyer, Thomas, my friend there. Do you mind if I just answer that, Alex?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll rumble about my views on the world forever, so please interrupt me.
It's all good. It's all fun. So can you explain about what breathwork actually is and why it's beneficial? It's a pretty big question to answer. I can only really answer this based on my experience and my training, which is rebirthing. The best way I can describe what rebirthing breathwork actually is and why it's beneficial is that with rebirthing, you get guided into the breathing rhythm that you did when you're a baby. So a baby breathes gently, they use the nose, and it doesn't stop. When you breathe in, when you watch a baby breathe, they breathe in and they breathe out, and they breathe in and they breathe out, and they breathe in and they breathe out. It's not hyperventilation, it's not necessarily fast, but if you watch a baby breathe, that's rebirthing breath work. And my son, when he was 4 years old, he used to get these big fevers, and he'd lay on the sofa and he would breathe like that. He'd breathe like inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And I was observing him one day and I said to him, Ezekiel, do you know that's the breathing rhythm I do with my clients? And with his 4-year-old wisdom, because he hadn't forgotten, he said to me, yeah, Daddy, I'm healing myself. And I hadn't talked to him about any of this. He didn't know any of what I did. But he was lying on the sofa healing himself, and he knew what he was doing because he hadn't forgotten. He knew innately what he was doing. So this breathing rhythm, the rebirthing breathing rhythm, I can only speak of that because that's my passion. It is a soothing breath. It's a soothing breath. It soothes the body. It soothes the body into calm. It soothes the mind into stillness. And you get into this state of relaxation and calm. And from that state, something might bubble up to the surface, like an emotion or a release of tension or hot or cold. But with rebirthing, it's bubbling up from this state of being soothed, being relaxed. It's not pushed on you. You're not being forced to, breathe harder, let's get these emotions out. It's not like that. It's more, we're breathing like a newborn baby. We're going to do this with patience and gentleness. The body and the mind sinks into relaxation, and then the body feels safe, the person feels safe, and something releases. And it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to come with the fireworks. Everyone's addicted to the fireworks. It doesn't have to be the fireworks. It could be just some shaking. It could be just some tears. It could be just, just some sort of energy release that's not massive. And then you integrate that. But the thing about it, and the thing that I like to focus on, is not how much can you achieve in one session. Everyone's so focused. I got to heal my whole damn life in one session. I've got to have the fireworks. I've got to, shake and feel God in one session, and it's all got to be, the fireworks. But that's not where the healing is. The healing is when you do this 10 times. You do 10 sessions. That's what Leonard Orr taught me. Take people through 10 sessions. Then people change incrementally. They change in a way that they can integrate, and they feel safely carried through those 10 sessions because it's very incremental. They're releasing a little bit at a time. They're able to integrate it. And the thing that happens is they get to the end of 10 sessions and they've cleared so much vibration, and they're not holding on to things that they were holding on to at the beginning. But the thing is, once a vibration has left your body, you can't remember what it was. So they're like, yeah, I know I'm a totally different person, but I can't even remember like what I was like before, because the vibration has left. And that's the way it should be. When someone can't remember how they were, you know that they've let go of the vibrations incrementally, and it's been done in a way that their body and their nervous system can handle over time with patience.
Oh, beautiful answer. Thank you, Daniel, for that. Two things came to me when you were sharing. One, for those interested in exploring, there is a great book called Why We Sleep. And when you were sharing the story of your son and the way he was breathing as he was sleeping. And one of the role of sleep is to process undealt emotions. So things we haven't dealt during the day, they come and we process them in the body during the night. So say, okay, I'll sleep on it and I'll see in the morning. So a lot has to be said and done about how we breathe during our sleep when we are unconscious, when we are not trying to control what's going on, when we completely surrender and appreciate also what kind of breathing patterns we have there. And they are irregular, we are processing. So sometimes we get agitated, sometimes the breathing comes heavier. But it's an interesting topic that I think needs to be even further explored. But Why We Sleep is a great one. And I want to give a slight different answer to what is breath work, or another complement to it more precisely. Every time we experience an emotion, it's translated into a breathing pattern. We're stressed, we breathe shallow, we breathe through the mouth, we focus on the inhale, we relaxed, we all of a sudden exhale, longer exhale, we breathe through the nose. And whatever emotion, when you cry, when you laugh, so the breath is always associated with any emotion that we go through. It's called breath work, because basically the idea that you can reverse engineer this. Now, the way I breathe can lead me to an emotion. So it's no longer the emotion that is leading the breathing pattern, but it's the breathing pattern that is getting me to access that emotion. So it's a really powerful set of empowering tools. And Daniel described rebirthing. You've got tons of them out there that allow you to get a grip on what's really going on. It's the access to your nervous system. And the nervous system is the access to your emotions, to your health, to every part of your body. There's not much we can control, but the breath is the gateway that can get us to actually figure out what's going on. So there is a part that is scientifically backed with an understanding of oxygen and CO2 and pH and and then there is part that is less clear and more to the realm of the unknown, the inexplicable. But come on, not everything can be explained with scientific words, and we need to accept certain things. And that's what we can do with the breath. So yeah.
Awesome, brother.
That's it. I think we should get people to experience it next time.
Definitely.
Any more questions, my friends? We've got some hearts coming our way. Oh,
Just check if there's any questions on Santara.
I don't see them. They would also appear on mine.
Oh, they're also on yours.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Last chance for questions. Everyone, anything you want to ask, anything that's going on for you, you wish to share. We had some of my students are in the group, and they had some really massive transformation in Daniel's session. So yeah, go ahead. I think, yeah, why not? I think let's have Lauren, because Lauren did both something powerful with both, and so it's going to be fair. She did my training and had a transformative experience with you. So you okay with that, Danielle? Let's bring Lauren forward.
Sure. Yeah.
So
Good
we see how
good to see you again, Lauren.
Hi, it's so good to be here. Hello, everyone. I also want to point out my mug that says "I need space." It's NASA, so I thought it was really funny that I'm using this mug today. But it's really good to see you, and it was hard to stay quiet just because I was in Alex's course, but my biggest transformation, my most powerful breath was with Danielle's. And so with that, it's funny hearing him say how gentle it is, because it is so gentle. And yet I still had such a massive experience. And I was in a breathwork course for 3 weeks leading up to it. So I think I was pretty cracked open at that part anyway. And it was it was almost the breath breathed me. And that's kind of how I felt in it. It really was this gentle setting that really allowed me to access a really deep space. And so I couldn't say more about both of these guys here. I'm not paid. I just wanted to see both of them for this. So this is totally off the record. And just really, really appreciate both of you and the work that you do, and how connected you are to people's transformation. And yeah, if anyone's curious, these people are a wealth of knowledge. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Well received, Lauren. Well received. Thank you so much, and good to see you there. Anyone else would like to come in and ask or share anything? There is space. We've got about 9 more minutes. Use that time for space.
Normally these things go over. We've got time.
Hey, Danielle, is there anything else you wish to share?
I just want to share that don't underestimate the power of this work. It's so powerful. I don't know where I would be without it. And yeah, if you're thinking of going on this journey, whoever it's with, whatever teacher, or whether you're just exploring yourself for now, that's fine. But it says something about you if you're even exploring this, that you really want the best out of your life, no matter what stage you're at. You really want the best out of your life. Most people, they just stay content. They stay content with their job that they hate and all of that. If you're really looking for this work, it shows that you're not content with that. And you want more, and you want to expand, and you want to get the best out of this time you have here. And breathwork is a very powerful helping hand along the way. Yeah, that's what I want to say.
Yeah, and go ahead, Ashley. We have Ashley who wants to come in.
Hey everyone. Sorry, Alex.
Hey, Ash.
How you doing? How we doing?
Doing great.
I just wanted to share a little bit if I could. I didn't have a question or anything, but I have breathed with Alex. I did his course in April, which was incredible. And I've also breathed with one of the participants that's done Daniel's course. And both were like so different, but so incredibly powerful in their own right. Again, I'm like Lauren, not paid, just simply a little bit of a breath obsession. But that feeling that you were talking about before, Daniel, about, you can't remember who you were before or what that feeling was, like just gone, like
Yeah.
absolutely gone. It's incredible. But not in like a hyped way. It's like this beautiful, peaceful, just acceptance that what was is gone, and you don't need to know, you don't need to understand. It just simply shifts. And it's beautiful.
Oh, that's so key what you just said. You don't need to know, you don't need to remember, you don't need to understand. It's because it's the energy moves, and I remember my original breath work was like, you got to remember, you got to feel it to heal it, you got to remember. And I was like, oh shit, do I really? No, you don't. Just move the energy, move that life energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful that you brought that up.
A smart person learns something every day. A wise person unlearns something every day. So
Yeah,
with the breath, you get to be wiser. Yeah.
for sure.
Thank you, Ash. So good to see you. And yeah,
Thanks.
wonderful. Yeah,
Thanks,
someone
Ash.
joining the fan club. Yeah, it's so nice to see you guys come and support. So thank you for.
Yeah, thanks for coming to contribute. Appreciate it. I feel like I'm in the Brady Bunch here. I'm looking down at my computer.
Yes. So yeah, guys, time to close soon. So just want to really invite you again to look up. You've got our links. Reach out to us, have a conversation. In my case, I'll happily connect you with the graduates. You can view some 600 plus testimonials. I'll happily explain to you and I'll connect with you to tell you if I feel it's a fit or not. So I will be very direct. I really want people that I feel fully aligned with to join, and I'll happily recommend you other trainings. So anyone who's keen to work with the breath, happily be able to get on a conversation. That's one way to go about it. And yeah, hope to see some of you in September in Bali or online. So thank you so much, Danielle, for coming, having this conversation. And we'll do that again on Tuesday, where you'll get to experience those breathing. So we'll do. No, what do you think, Danielle? Are you up for that?
Yeah, next Tuesday for sure.
Yeah, I'll do a bit of we'll do a little bit of rebirthing, and then I have my own method. So I'll share a bit about my method, and then I'll guide you a few rounds of that. So completely different approaches, completely different techniques, but same passion. So happily share more next week. All right, guys. Danielle, anything else?
All good, brother. Just thank you very much for getting us together, bro.
Yeah, all good. All right, everyone. Sending you lots of love. Just close your eyes, just to close without separation, and just reconnect to your breath. Just acknowledge how you feel. How's your heart going? Always rush from one activity to the next. Just allowing the breath to come in between, creating just a bit of space. How did I feel? Connecting to us, connecting to each other. Being in that space. How did the body feel? How did the body respond? And let's take 3 breaths to close. Inhale. And out. Pull in. And out. And one last time. Pull in. And let it go. Thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful rest of the night.
Thanks, everyone, for coming to listen.